I don't know what to say. Hi, everybody. My name's Jared. Um, Many of you know me as Jacko Stack from TikTok. I have nearly 400,000 followers. Um, and so I imagine if you're here, you might be one of those people. If that's the case, you probably already know kind of what to expect from me. I'm a little bit all over the place, but for the most part, I do focus a lot on topics mainly revolving around neuroscience. Um, but for those who are new to me, I just started this channel, Jack of All Trades, to sort of reflect that, I actually do a lot of different things and I have a lot of different interests. And I want to share those interests with, the people who would like to learn from me. Something that I've always said and have made very clear, very evident, is that I personally believe that in order to have a really good, high functioning society, we need to work toward the goal of making education free for everybody. And with that being said, I have amassed a great deal of debt to earn my education. I know many other people who have had to do the same. But I would like to share what I've learned over the past decade or so. And yeah, so just know that I'm always open. Feel free to send me an email. I have it here in the bio. You can always ask questions in the comments. We encourage discussion. And many of my followers know that I interact pretty heavily and pretty regularly, as much as I can. So, who am I? I thought I'd make this first video. It just sort of makes sense for me to introduce myself, I suppose. Many of my followers on TikTok didn't really know my real name, even for a long time. I tried to kind of keep my TikTok anonymous ish um, because I didn't really want it to impact my life that much. However, my friends and family have all found me now on TikTok. My boss has found me, which is fine. My coworkers, etc. So there's no use really hiding my identity anymore. Uh, so let's start there. Again, my name is Jared King. I have a Master of Science in Psychology. Um, I earned my master's at the University of Oregon. Uh, October of last year, I actually started a postgraduate position here in Connecticut at the Yale School of Medicine, working on pain research in the spinal cord. My TikTok blew up mainly because of a video series that I did where I kind of used the tagline, trigger warning if you are prone to existential crises. Um, that being the case, I do like to talk about stuff that kind of gets people, thinking. I like stuff that's thought provoking, right? And I also like to talk about topics that are maybe sometimes difficult to talk about. This channel will not always be super fun, happy, bubbly. Sometimes it will probably have to deal with some pretty dark stuff. I may have to give warnings before episodes. Hopefully, I won't get banned or kicked off. um, but as far as my interests go, of course, neuroscience is at the top of the list, right? Um, I have a degree in psychology. I also studied biology um, and data analysis. I also work on leather. I do sculptures. I make bronze, clay, wood, all sorts. Um, I draw a lot. I paint. Sometimes I paint miniatures for D&D. I love playing role-playing games. Anybody who knows me knows that I'm constantly reading something. And my interest in my reading material will kind of shift over time, but usually if I have an interest in something, I'll read a few books about that thing so that I can sort of educate myself in that matter. I like to provide myself with a scaffolding of knowledge around a subject before I begin to build atop of it so that I can have a good, solid understanding of what's going on. Something that I'm told that I am very good at is being able to take really complex things and break them down into nice little bite-sized chunks for the average individual. Um, I take that very much as a compliment, and that is what I would like to do here. That being the case, feel free to interact. Um, like I said, you can message me, you can email me, you can leave a comment. I'll be reading all your comments and trying to respond to them. I may do video responses. I might just respond to you in the chat. It'll kind of depend on what I have to do that day, if I'm busy or if I'm tired. I would like to try to post regularly. One of the main reasons that I made this channel is because many of my followers on TikTok were begging me to have an outlet through which I can provide more information. Primarily because, TikTok only allows me to give information in 1 to 3 minute chunks. And some of the topics I talk about are massively in depth. And you can literally talk about these things ad infinitum forever, right? And that's very difficult to smash that all in 3 minutes. So maybe a good place to start is to take some of those videos, those little snippets that I made in TikTok, and actually expand on them here. And I likely will. I want to make it clear that I love learning, and I will learn every day until the day that I die. I love learning new things from neuroscience, other sciences, biology, psychology. I love learning about social sciences, cultural events. Oftentimes I research atrocities such as the Holocaust or slavery in the United States. This channel is very much in support of the people who are underrepresented in this country. And on TikTok, I have cultivated for my channel there a group of people that are really kind and caring and compassionate, intelligent individuals who are constantly seeking more knowledge in a friendly way and are sharing that knowledge with the other members of the community. And that is the kind of community that I would like to build here. I would like people to feel like they are safe here to be able to express themselves without being attacked. And I just want to remind everyone that we are not born with our knowledge. Our knowledge is something that we obtain through many years of life. And that being said, not everybody has the same level of knowledge. And so it's important for us, those of us who maybe have experience or a lot of knowledge in one area, to reach our hand out and lift up those who maybe have less. And just as those who reach down to lift us up have done for us. And that is what I'm trying to do for you here with this channel. I hope to reach down and pick you up to where I'm at. And I hope that at some point, maybe you'll be there to reach down and pick me up to where you're at. That's my goal. And I want us to do that as a society, as a country, maybe in the U.S., maybe outside of the U.S., maybe as a world, There's enough harshness on this planet. And those of you who know me know that I'm very familiar with how harsh this planet can be. It's tough enough it's already tough enough. Even without the pandemic and even without the pandemonium that was our politics the last several years, life was already hard before any of that. How much more so now? So, why don't we build something together that is really nice, safe, something that provides us with structure, and something that will provide us with an outlet to be able to lift ourselves up and empower ourselves and one another and to support each other. I think that through this action, we will actively make the world a better place to live in. And I'm hoping that as a community, we can logically deconstruct information that is maybe unfactual or sometimes even detrimental. I feel like my channel will hopefully have a unique perspective because I know what it's like to have money, and I also know what it's like to have been in poverty for most of my life. I have also experienced years of homelessness on and off. And the struggle of being a high school dropout and trying to survive without a bank account, without a birth certificate, without a social security card or ID. I do know what it's like to struggle. And I'm here to support others who might be struggling now. Over time, I will likely share more about my story. But it's a long and complicated story. And my hope is that I will be able to use some of this experience to try to help other people who may be going through similar things. And I want to encourage you and let you know that if I can be here where I'm at today, given where I used to be, then so too can you be. And I'm happy to give you anything that I have to give, so long as I have it to give. So all that being said, feel free to jump into the comments and ask me stuff. Let me know if there's anything you'd like to know specifically about my life, my experience, or if you have any questions about any interesting topics in science that you would like to get my opinion on. I do plan on covering topics that I personally find interesting. I hope that you'll find them interesting too. And I really appreciate you taking the time to stop by my channel. I want to personally welcome you to this community, and you will find that we do have an actual community here. I'm not the only one. I might be like the face here, but you'll come to meet my wife, Harmony, who's amazing. She'll probably end up in one of the next couple videos. She'll probably be in a lot of my videos, honestly. You'll probably come to meet Katie, who's a good friend of ours and is always in the chat and ready to moderate. She's a good friend and an amazing person. There are also several other moderators who will probably join us here, and there are plenty of other community members that we regularly have showing up in the chat who are also quite a bit of fun. And everybody is so widely different, and they all have their own experiences. It's good to hear from everyone. And we don't always talk about happy things. Sometimes people come to the chat because someone that's close to them has died, or someone who is close to them, or maybe they themselves have gotten really sick, or perhaps they're going through something really difficult. And when that happens, we don't shove them out of the chat. We don't shove them out of the chat. We don't try to disparage them or discourage them from sharing their experience. Instead, we provide love and support. And sometimes you find that there are other people in the chat that even have resources to help. And that's always amazing. Again, I'd like to thank you for coming to check out my channel. I hope that you find something that you like here. If you do, please feel free to subscribe. You can always send me a message. And of course, I always appreciate a like on any video because it lets me know that what I'm doing is working, and informs me about the quality of my content. So I do appreciate that. And with that, I'd like to thank you for joining me for my first YouTube video. And I'd also like to thank you for patiently sticking by me while I sort of figure this thing out, as I sort of figure this process out. And with that, I'll see you in the next video.